Welcome to my video. This is me giving my old RX 5500 XT 8GB model a quick clean before I sell on eBay. In this video I'm just taking the fan shroud off and then the fans off so I can clean the heatsink and the underneath of the fan blades. It's not actually too bad. I've already changed the thermal pads and replaced the thermal paste on it. These screws are a bit awkward because they're underneath the fan blades. The outer ones to take off the fan shroud aren't too bad, but as you'll see later when you come to actually take off the fans, it is a bit difficult and you really do need a magnetic bit. So that's the fan shroud coming off. As you see, you just need to turn the blades ever so slightly and then that'll give you enough to get them past. You've got plenty of slack to flip the fans over so you can work on them and remove them off. It launched late in 2019, so it's been around for a few years now. Long enough I've been seeing a lot of driver updates and game patches to come and go. See, the fans now are screwed actually onto the heatsink itself. So as I said, they're quite fiddly to get in, so you really do need a magnetic drive bit. And I think it's the fans with the leading edge of the actual little plastic nubbins, they're slightly bigger, so it makes it a bit easier to get in. This model uses GDDR6 memory, which at the time was a nice upgrade over the older GDDR5 cards at the time. As you can see, the dual fan design actually did a solid job keeping temperatures under control, even when the fans are a bit dusty like this. Right, each of the fans has 3 screws, as you can see here. I got the first 2, but then I didn't realise there was a third one, so you'll see me struggle with it right here. And that's it's now released, and you can see underneath it's not too bad at all. I'm quite anal about keeping my PC clean, and if you keep everything else clean and it off the floor, you don't really pick up as much dust as you'd imagine. So here I'll go getting the last 3 screws out in the final fan. As I'm not showing very well, you'll see they just fall out of the way. So if you were wanting to replace them, it would be easy enough. Although I don't know if you would get direct replacements anyway. Right, that's the final fan off now. So I'm just going to give it a wee brush out with the anti-static brush I've got. The brush doesn't do a great job on the fan blade, so I'll just go leave that and get out the old air duster for that. But it's very good at getting into the grooves to take the dust out between the pins. This unit is going to be going on eBay shortly because I've replaced it with an RTX 5060 Ti. See, it does a far better job. Could have went in with the microfiber stuff. This was just a quick thing to get things a bit better. Sadly, this little AliExpress air duster doesn't quite have the same power as the Candia. It does ship out a nice bit of dust. back away there, dust out, doing it. So you just fold the fans back up. Now the hard part is getting the 3 screws back in, which you'll see in this video I do struggle with. The trick is to spin the fan blades until you see the biggest holes, or the biggest gaps between the fans, because they're not equally spaced as you would imagine. Sorry if you can hear the seagulls outside my house fighting. I think one of my neighbours must have fed the birds while I was doing this. So just slowly spin the fan blades until you see the largest gap between them. They're not evenly spaced, because if you have an evenly spaced fan blades, especially with this amount of pitch, you get more of a hum rather than a spinning sound. So that's why they do that. Here I've lost one of the screws, but I just managed to get it out with the brushing off, and then the magnetic tool managed to pick it up. I found this car to be very power efficient, and it doesn't really use much power at all, especially compared to what I've replaced it with, as it's under 80 watts. Actually, it could go up to 130 watts if you overclocked it to go under load. This MSI one anyway. You could get both 4 gig and 8 gig versions. This was the 8 gig version. It was definitely a lot better. I'm glad I went for it in the end. I remember playing Warzone back in the day, and everyone was kind of saying they wanted 8 gigabytes of memory, so that's why I went for this one. Also, I have an MSI motherboard, and so I thought, oh, this would be handy, and it has PCIe 4, even though my current motherboard is PCIe 5. It is amazing how much little dust like this can affect the performance of the fans. And I did give them a good few spins, and the bearings in the fan seem to be running perfectly fine. So that's it, one final clean before retirement. Our card was never meant to be high end. I didn't really play much on it. I did a really good job. I've had it for years and years with no issues at all. So hopefully somebody on eBay will fancy it. It's time to move on, and now especially with my RTX 5060, the 16 gig, more power, the headroom, and the way it just buzzes through rendering has been a fair game changer. Hopefully, if I haven't lost the footage, I'll upload a photo of me taking it apart to replace the heatsink pads. I didn't put anything in fancy in. Anyway, thanks for watching, and also thank you very much, GPU, for doing a very good job for all those years. But the next owner enjoys you. Cheers. Bye.